Hey guys, Art17. Once again, we're in midweek here. Sorry for the late post, but better late than never. And we're talking about week 2 and assignment number 4, upside down drawing. This isn't just to pick something and draw it upside down. I'm going to provide you a upside down drawing to work from. And I'm going to also provide a write-up about what we're doing, which is basically working the right side of the brain with that assignment. It's not all that important how it turns out. The important thing is that you do it and you're working the right side of your brain. You should actually be feeling it tingle in your head, that right side. Let me know if you do. You get extra credit. And then the homework is a drawing of your own feet. I'm going to show you some examples of not of your own feet, but somebody else's. And you can take that as a reference, all right? So let's talk about upside down drawing. Here it is. It's this guy in a chair, and he's upside down, and you just draw the chair and him in lines. This is one of the first time we're going to work with just drawing with lines in this class. Most the other assignments are going to be where you're shading in something. But this one, don't shade it. Just draw it like you see it, upside down. You're going to put it upside down. You're going to draw it upside down. The thinking behind this is, with this assignment, is that the brain doesn't really recognize it as a guy in a chair. Ha ha. Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. They say that if you're not really actually looking at something that you recognize right off, your subliminal side, your subconscious, doesn't pick it up exactly. So you're working the right side of the brain, which is, I'll provide it's more perceptive rather than analytical. So it perceives something as opposed to actually knowing what it is, and it works on that right side of the brain, which is supposed to be the creative side of the brain, the artistic side. Okay, so let's just work with this. It's kind of fun, and it's fun to see how they turn out. The best way to do this is like maybe start from the bottom and go down, or rather than go around it and try to fit all this in like that, I think one shape meets up with another shape, meets up with another shape, and another shape, and another shape, and you sort of map it together. It's like mapping shapes together to get a whole. You might want to start with the head, because if you start down here, you may end up off the paper down here because you didn't govern the actual size of things. So that's another part of this, that you're sort of looking at shapes only and not that it's a guy in a chair. It's like this shape, this shape, this shape, and how they match out. Well, these shapes are in the middle, sort of, and this is the head up here. So we don't want to get too much where we have these shapes way down here. So that's how you're working at it and looking at it, okay? But just start drawing the lines where they meet up with another shape, and then another shape meets this one, and this one here, this one. Keep looking at the proportions on the page here. And then also, just notice, well, this thing right here looks like a handle or a rod or something upside down. Is sort of on this side of the middle. It's not in the middle. It's over here. So you want to govern that, where this is sort of in the middle, not past the middle this way either. I mean, it's offset from the middle, not in the middle, over here. And what are perceived to be these shapes, which are the hands, are kind of in the middle, but not exactly. So keep looking at that and notice that. as you're going, where the proportions are, and if you're using up too much space or not enough space. But basically start from one end and go to the other. Either the top to the bottom, bottom to top, or side to side, and do it that way. Okay? I'm going to send this to you all in an email attachment, so you'll have it to print out too, but here it is in the video. It's also in, I was going to put that somewhere else. Where was I going to put that? In the syllabus. I don't know. Maybe you can print it out from there. I really don't know. But there it'll be too. Okay. With the syllabus is where I'm putting everything. Is the assignment schedule too. You need to look at that now and then as well. Okay. So that's enough about the upside down drawing. It isn't something just to pick something. It's this guy sitting in a chair. All right. Now drawing your feet. Here on Bing is feet drawings, and there's many of them. Of course, I want you to shade your feet. Shade them with a single light source so that you have all the darks and lights to the shading of the foot so that it shows a shape. Without that, you end up with feet like this, and they don't have any shape. They're just flat on the paper. So if you want something to have shape, you have to shade it accordingly. You might want to take a picture of your feet in a position or whatnot, maybe just looking straight down at them, or have someone else take a picture of your feet that is in a different position. But you want to shade it. You want the dark areas in between the toes. You want the light source. Where's the light source coming from? On this one, it's coming from the top right, because all this stuff down here is cast shadow. And then you have all these dark areas where the light isn't hitting. And it's in the shadow of that other foot right here, where you have those shadows, but they're not as dark as these shadows. So look at your feet with a single light source, either a photograph or actually looking at them, and draw them. But notice all the light and dark areas. And then you're going to shade those in, just like the video on shading talked about, and holding your pencil to get the shading marks with the overhand grip. If you haven't watched those, you need to go back and watch those. Watch them again, maybe 3 or 4 times if you're not getting it. But shading is what we're looking for in everything we do. Even these drawings here have shading to them. They're colored. But they have the darker browns back here, lighter browns here, everywhere. That's what shows the shape of the foot. And that the veins and the bones are going to all have those sort of light and dark areas that separate them. Maybe I can find a video on feet, drawing feet, and then let me see if I can provide that too. Take a look at that. But that's how you're getting all this done, is with light and dark areas and shading with the pencil to get that done. Let's see if we can find a real strong picture of the feet. Now notice I did say feet, right? Not foot. So don't send me a picture drawing image of 1 foot, because I said feet. That's 2. All right. So you need 2 feet. There's a nice smooth one. And again, you can shade with your graphite or charcoal, and you can use like a Q-tip or another sponging or smudging tool. They sell smudging tools, so just kind of like a paper or cardboard really tightly wound like a pencil and has a tip on it, but it's paper. And then you when you're using the graphite, you use that to smudge the graphite around. And you can use that with charcoal too. I'm not a real big fan of these lines like this because that's creating a texture. It looks like you have sort of like leathery reptilian skin when you do that. But they're strong drawings, so give it a try. I mean, if you're really good at doing it that way, that's fine. But I'm just saying, smooth it out because really skin has smooth tones to it. Unless you do have a bunch of wrinkles in your skin, then you can show them. Most people don't. I mean, yes, some, but not, and of course there's going to be some wrinkles. But overall, most of the skin is kind of smoother, so it's going to be a smooth tone. You want to show the correct texture when you're showing your shading on the foot. Okay, so have fun with the feet. Take a picture with a single light source so you have lots of lights and darks. Move the light around. Find where the best contrast is. But certainly between toes and around the side of the foot and wherever there's veins and stuff and this ankle bone here and everything's going to have lights and darks to it. Even the toenails are going to have light and dark areas. See? Where they tuck in, and they go around, and they tuck in to the sides. It's a little darker there. And then it gradually goes over. And maybe your toenails have a shiny area right there. Like right there, that's very bright. So you just leave graphite out of there. But not white as paper. Skin and fingernails and everything, unless it's a reflection mark, they are not white as paper. So you need a tone of some sort throughout your skin, whatever skin drawings you're doing. Faces, hands, feet, everything. All right, so enough on that one. Let me know if you have any questions. You should be getting week 1 to me by the end of this week, week 2, and on and on. And then that's how you should, you have a goal of sending me the work by the next week that they were posted. So number 1 week, send it to me sometime in number 2 week. All right, and on and on and on. All right, I'll talk with you next week. Look for an email with the upside down guy as an attachment, so you'll have that too, and a write-up. I think I'll try to find a write-up on that too, and see if I can provide that as well.